Welcome back, Wogglers. Now, one question that we get quite a lot is, what is a layout, and can I have more than one, and why should or shouldn't I do that? So, please trust me when I say there's only like 1% of the time that I would suggest making different layouts. Most everything that you want to do when you go to start creating a new layout, you can use layout rules for. There are only very, very specific use cases that I would recommend using different layouts. And the reason for that is wildly complicated, and just trust me when I say it will cause you significant issues and headaches and problems down the line when you use more than one layout, unless it is for very specific use cases. Let me go ahead and show you in the CRM what it is that I'm talking about. So if you go into the setup gear in the top right corner, and then under customization, you've got modules and fields. And then let's say we're looking at deals. So when you go here, you can see that there are layouts. You got your standard layout. That comes right out of the box. You can't turn that one off. It's your standard one. And there's this really inviting blue create new layout button. And you might think to yourself, wow, yeah, I have multiple departments and I want to create a layout for each department. Please don't. Please use layout rules for that. And the reason that I say that is, again, lots of automation issues and headaches and what down the line. But the one use case that I would recommend using multiple layouts would be is if you have two completely separate types of records. So in this case for deals, you have two completely different processes, and you have users that stay in this process and never overlap to the other one, and users that stay in the other process and never overlap to the other one. In this case, we could use layouts for that. So that being said, let's create a new layout. So in this, what you can do is you can essentially create a specific view of the same type of record, so like a deal record, and then you can choose different fields or existing fields that you may want to see in one view versus another view. So in our pretend company, we've got we sell the adventure packs, and that's a B2B sort of situation. And then we also offer adventure tours. So we're going to create a layout for our adventure tours. We'll call this the service layout. All right, so for the service layout, we're going to see a couple of different things. So for example, for us, with the type field, there's existing business and new business. That's really important for when we sell products, because we want to know what stores we've sold our products to and what are new ones that we've had. It's not as important for the tourism side of things. So we're going to remove this field from this layout. It doesn't mean that it's deleting this field, it's just removing it from this view. The next step, which is kind of a single line, it is a single line field, but it's kind of more for use for the salesperson on the B2B side of things, so they can jot down quick notes and remember where they are in the whole quoting process. Not as important for the tourism side. We're going to remove this field as well. All right, so what we can do here is we can say this budget field is very useful for both tourism and for service, but the new business onboarding doesn't apply to our tourism. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new section, and this section only lives on the service layout. It does not live at all on the other standard layout. So we're going to call this the tour basics section, and we're going to pull our budget up to there. And then the rest of this section we don't need, so we're going to delete it. And again, when I say delete it, we're just going to move it into the unused fields. And then the same thing with the existing business section. We're going to delete it. And so now we've got a view that is very specific to our tours. We can do things like add date time of potential tour start date. We can add things like, oops, grab that single line. It doesn't want me to grab the single line, so I'm going to choose a multi-line. And from here we can say, for example, maybe this is destination requests or requirements. So now what we've done, I'm going to go ahead and save and close this, is, well, when you save and close, you can set the permission here. So for example, if you've got your sales team, you don't want them to have access to this. So only administrators and standards should have access to this, because your sales team should always be using the standard layout and your tour team should always be using the service layout. So that is one thing that's good about the different layouts, is you can set those permissions and you can make it so that, as you can see, the sales team, anybody who is part of the sales team would be able to log in and they would never be able to access service layout records. Whereas the opposite would be true for your service team. So let's go into a deal and we'll create a specific to service layout deal. So it does default to the standard. We're going to switch over to our service layout. And so as you can see here, it's moved everything around. You can only see what's available to you. And that is how you would then have your service team interact with the deal's records. So there you go. That's how you create and interact with the different layouts that you may create for
I think these things we hate layouts so much. You can't even create a video.
It's just
like,
awful.
You're like, why am I doing
Why
this?
am I doing this? I don't want you to do it. Is the long and the short of it is I just don't want you to do it because it causes so many problems down the line. You're just gonna hire us to undo it for you.
What about?
What about if you just video you saying that?
I think we already are.
No. Oh, you're right, we are.
What?
I
Hold
can't.
that.
I
Do a
can't.
video.
Woggle woggle.